How the hell is Laura jealous of a vampire? Guess we gotta get into it. Support the comic book industry or visit your LCS. My name is Dorian, this is SON Comics. We continue our coverage of Laura Kinney Wolverine. Number 9. Our story starts off in Paris, France, where we have Gabby, and she's with XARUS, who is the son of Dracula. And during the blood hunt, they are working together to try to stop this witch that's turning tourists into some demon zombie kids or something like that. So her and XARUS working together, they're handling the witch's minions pretty easily. And they started to get close to the witch. They actually worked together to get close to the witch. But then as soon as Gabby does get close to the witch, she says some kind of spell. Gabby is now suspended in the air. And all of a sudden, all the witch's minions and the witch disappear. Gabby falls. She does a superhero landing, the Black Widow landing. But she calls it classic superhero landing. And all of a sudden, she starts coughing. And then XARUS walks over. It's like, are you okay? And then she looks up and her face is deformed. So then we cut to Logan's safe house where Gabby was telling the story to Laura. And then Laura's like, yeah, I got kind of worried about you when I didn't see you at the Hellfire Visual. Again, we got another reference to the Hellfire Visual. Which means nothing to you if you didn't watch the X-Men number 20 video. So Laura's like, whatever happened, we'll figure out a way to cure you. And at least now you're here so I can protect you. As we see Jonathan chowing down on some Chinese food. For anybody who's new to Jonathan, he's the either Wolverine or Honey Badger. I think he's a Wolverine. Wolverine. Yeah, he's a Wolverine. But then we hear a knock on the window, and Laura goes to the window, and it's XARUS. And he's like, hi. And she's like, what are you doing here? Why are you lurking around? And then Gabby's like, he actually is the one who brought me here, but he's a vampire, so he can't come in unless you invite him in. And Laura's like, well, I want to invite him in. He's like, I came to make sure that she's okay, so can I come in? Like, I don't feel the cold, but it is raining. And then Laura's like, fine. So then Gabby tells her to be nice. And she's like, I am nice. Let him in, didn't I? So he comes in and he's soaked and he's hovering above. So he's dripping all kinds of water on the floor, which Jonathan comes to lick up. And he's like, all right, you need to figure out a way to help Gabby. And then Laura's like, well, Wolverines work alone. So we figure this out. And then Gabby's like, we don't work alone. We work with Deadpool, Squirrel Girl, Logan, Proudstar. Or again, it's like, fine, you can help us. So then we cut to the next morning where Laura goes into Gabby's room to check on her. And we see that XARUS stayed with her the whole night. So she asks, so how's she sleep? And he's like, tossed and turned, but mostly she stayed asleep. So then Gabby wakes up and we see that the skin is like hanging from like her hands and her arms. And she pops her claws. And then Laura's like, it's getting worse. We need to figure out something. We need to figure out something now. So obviously Laura is still pissed at XARUS for what happened to Gabby. And she just doesn't want him around. And so she's giving them a hard time. But Gabby definitely wants XARUS around. So she gives in to what Gabby wants. And she tells Jonathan to hold down the fort. As only a Wolverine can do. See, knew he was a Wolverine. So then we cut to 177A Bleecker Street. Which, if you are a Marvel fan, you know exactly where we are. Sanctum Sanctorum. She goes knock on the door. She's in full Wolverine uniform. And who comes to the door? It's not Doctor Strange. Not Juan. It's Clea. She was like, oh, how's it going, Laura? And Laura's like, I'm sorry to bother you. And she goes, no, you're not bothering me. Especially not a fellow Avenger. And you're like, what do you mean Avenger? Yes, new Avengers, which we are covering on the channel. Link to the playlist will be in the description. So Laura and Gabby walk in, and then XARUS tries to walk in, and Cleo's like, you can't come in. So XARUS like, but, and Cleo's like, you don't understand. The Sanctum won't let you in. It won't let you cross the threshold. And if you read Blood Hunt, then you understand why. So XARUS like, she's right. I'll just wait outside. So Cleo starts doing her magic thing to Gabby, and she starts asking questions like, what happened? Where it happened? Who does she think is responsible? Gabby pretty much tells her everything that she knows, and then Cleo's like, what location? And then she tells her again, it's like, oh, that might be a problem. So she tells Gabby to relax, and Gabby's like, I'm trying. All of a sudden, Gabby starts spitting out all this green stuff. It falls on the floor, and then all of a sudden, people start coming out of it. It's actually the witch and her minions were traveling inside Gabby. So Gabby does another superhero landing. Kinda, sorta. She goes, in Paris, it was me and the vampire. Now, I got my sister with me. And then they get to work on these demons, zombies, whatever the hell they are. And Cleo also gets involved too. But the witch, now that she's in the Sanctum Sanctorum, all of a sudden she looks over and she's like, oh, the spear of Shein, or Shuin, whatever it is. And she grabs it. She says a magical incantation, and all of a sudden, all these green magical tentacles grabs Gabby, Laura, and Cleo. So Laura's screaming like, leave Gabby alone. What do you want from us? And the witch is like, not all you guys, just Gabby. Her blood sustains my children and strengthens my magic. So of course Laura's like, no, take my blood. It does the same thing. I'll do it willingly. And the witch is like, yeah, that's a noble sacrifice, but you didn't invade my sanctuary. It was her and the vampire. So now she has to face consequences. Don't follow us. It will be your undoing. And the witch, her minions, and Gabby all disappear. So all of a sudden there's a blast of energy that just shoots the doors open. And we see Zareth standing there and he's like, where's Gabby? And then Laura goes, Stray got took her. Well, I forgot to mention that the witch actually gave her name. Then Laura's like, but I'm gonna get her back.